bridge the gap. Communication so real, no cap. A different language for woman and man. Decode the language and you'll understand. Nah, it'll help you out. Rest assured, women have no doubt. Pillow talk, dinner talk. Give you the info to walk the walk. Now, sometimes it's a foreign language. Now know what's up, don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation. Empower yourself, it's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation. Just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation, yeah.
Hello, guys. What's going on? Welcome in. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. We are back for another Sunday, talking about some good stuff as usual. Like and share. This one is going to be a good one. This one is more like a warning, though. We're probably not going to be on here the whole hour because this was just something that was just on my heart that I wanted to talk about. We come on here and we talk about, cutting edge stuff. We talk about things that are trending. We talk about all things relationships, family relationships, work relationships, all kinds of relationships with your children, your supervisor, you name it. And so I brought my son here, Dante V, the relationship communication strategist. We are the mother and son dynamic duo. And we just share our experiences so that you can just have a better life. Or you know what? Just to really think. I'm the type of person that I like to make people think about things because I don't think we have enough thinkers. I think people are so caught up emotionally that they don't even be thinking about stuff. They just be doing stuff, just doing stuff, just doing. And I, was a part of some conversations. And I'm like, you know what? Women need to understand. They need to know that men and women do not think the same. You cannot talk to your dude like he your girlfriend because he's not even processing the same way as another woman would process. And there's such a gap. We're here to bridge the gap of communication. There is such a gap. When you're in a toxic relationship, because I hear this 1,000 times a day, a month, a year, he won't talk to me. People that are toxic don't want to talk. They don't want to resolve
it. Let me backtrack on that for a minute. No, because sometimes I just can't talk to you because you're irrational. Got nothing to do with being toxic. I can't get through to you. So what's the purpose of wasting my breath? I'm better off talking to a brick wall.
Well, so I don't do that. If you're in a relationship with somebody, it doesn't really matter how irrational you think the person is. That's kind of like, that's like, okay, irrational as far as we're not on the same page. We don't have the same definition. We're not. This is what I mean. You thinking one thing, you on one page. I'm thinking something different. I'm trying to make a point. You trying to make a point, but you're saying I'm irrational. Irrational. When you're irrational, well, we just done jump right on in it, didn't we? Just jump on in. Ain't no help, nothing. Like and share. It doesn't. I think for me, if I have something to say. And if I have something to get off my chest, I don't really care. I'm not really going to assess whether you're rational or not. I need to say something.
Well, one, let's unpack that. Because if you got something that you got to get off your chest, then there really is no room for conversation. So I can see where you're coming from with that. Like, hey, I'm gonna say this. I really don't care how you feel. It is what it is. But if we're trying to resolve a situation, and you're not even trying to understand, see where I'm coming from, it's like, no.
But see, this is the thing, though. When you and another person don't see eye to eye, those are all the things that you have to untangle. You're not gonna, if it's like divorce. When I got divorced, people used to get on my nerves trying to get me to talk about stuff with my ex-husband who was unreasonable, who is probably still unreasonable. So I was like, no, I'm not talking to him. But the thing is that why would you think that we're going to come to agreement after after we're not together if we couldn't come to an agreement when we were together? Divorce means die. Die means two. It means division. Divorce. You have a vision, I have a vision, and it is not coinciding. It is not coming together. We're
Yeah.
not we're not
Somebody's being
a
emotional.
meeting of the mind.
Or definitely have grown apart. Your vision is no longer my vision. So I see what you're saying, but it just doesn't fit into my life. So okay, all right, fine.
Right. But the thing is that if you want to reconcile a relationship, the fact that the person is irrational or don't see eye to eye or there's not a meeting of a minds or there's a miscommunication or all of that has to be ironed out. You're not going to start straight seeing eye to eye. You know, take you and I for an example. We didn't start out seeing eye to eye.
Nope.
I
Nope.
stood my ground. You stood your ground. I said, okay, God, you got it. I'm done with it. And next thing you know, you was calling me, was like, Mom, I seen this movie. It's like, about perception. It's like, yeah. All of that stuff has to be ironed out. And it's not gonna be ironed out right away. It's gonna take some time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, people grow apart. And and to me, growing apart means I'm on one level and you're on another level. It doesn't mean I'm above you or
Mhm.
beneath you or you above me or beneath me. It's just that we just on different floors. You on the one floor, you might be on the other side of the even side of the building. I might be on the odd side of the building. But
Mhm.
I just wanted to come here today and warn, because it's a lot of people running around hollering about, I don't know what it is, whether it's something in the air, maybe it's because it's the summertime. All these people, all these women wanting to get married. I want to get married. I want to be married. Let me tell you, you better be so careful because people are using marriage as a trap to trap you. And it is so sad because for me, the reason I don't really talk about marriage a lot is because marriage is very spiritual. It is a spiritual covenant relationship, and people are taking total advantage of it. They're taking total advantage of it. People's lives are being ruined mentally, everything. You man, let me tell you, you'd be surprised. I remember a friend of mine that she was my hairdresser when I lived in Philadelphia, and she could not get over the fact that she found out that her husband was gay. Now they had like 3 or 4 children together. Now this woman was a domestic goddess. If I have ever met a domestic goddess in my life, it was her. This woman could do hair. She knew how to sew. You talking about virtuous. She was an amazing cook. She was attractive. She had a great personality. She was a great person. And she would be someone that a man should be proud to be with. She never got over the fact, and I mean, this man treated her like straight trash, and it messed her up mentally. There are so many people messed up mentally because they were trapped in a marriage because the intentions of that man or sometimes a woman, but I don't really hear a lot about the women. I hear more the women talking about the men. And now it seems to be a resurgence of that's all I keep hearing. I just want to get married. I just want to get married. It's just like girl, no. Like, take your time. And I know you don't want me to talk about the revelation that God gave me about the marriage vows, but eventually I
Go
will
ahead and
talk.
do it.
No. I'm
Wow.
not going to talk about it today. I'm not. But what I will say is that you do not want to enter into, it's like enter into a contract. You enter into a contract, something happens down the line, you can't pay your end of the contract, they're going to take you to court. You know what I mean? So it's like when you get involved in when you get trapped in these relationships with these people that have these ill intentions because you just want to be with someone and you're not even considering, like, the thought never, when I talk to these women, the thought never have crossed their mind that this man will ever turn out to be whatever it was he turned out to be 20 years later, 25 years later, 30 years later, 32 years later, 35 years later. All the time of your life has literally been stolen from you. And then when you try to talk to women, and men are not going to tell you. The men, if a woman says to me, he won't talk to me. This is the number one thing complaint. He won't talk to me. He won't talk to me. He won't talk to you 9 times out of 10 because he don't like you. Men are finally admitting that they don't like women. I keep saying it. Go ahead, Doctor.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying as far as that goes, but it doesn't start that way. I can't talk to you because I wasn't given the space to talk to you. And when I was given that space, somehow it got used against me. So I like you, but I'm starting not to like you. I'm just here and this is familiar. I mean, they're gonna still go out and do them, but it's like, why don't you talk to me? I can't because of A, B, C, D. I don't mean everyone's different. Everyone has, their limits, but it's like I've talked to you about this. That got thrown in my face, or that got used against me, or I overheard you talking such and such about it. Like I come to you to talk to you to give you more insight on me, and some way somehow that gets flipped on me. So yeah, so it doesn't always start out that way. Some of them don't start out that way. I'm gonna say that some of them, because we do
Well,
have
the people I
peers out
talk
there.
to, they haven't been together that long, and it's already starting from the beginning.
Why you here?
Too
Why are
late.
we doing this?
That's what I'm saying. It's too late. You're married. Nobody is having these conversations. Because the woman is thinking that, I'm attractive. I got this going for me. I got a great job, a great whip. I got this. I got that. I got that. None of that stuff means anything to a man. It doesn't mean anything to him. The only time that it means something to the man is if he ain't got his own stuff going on and he just want to use you for what it is that you have. That's the only time it means something to him. But other than that, if a man got his own stuff going on, he could care less about how much money you got and how much money you make.
Yeah.
So we're talking about these relationships that flip, like before you ain't even been together a year. And the relationship done flipped already.
That first year is crucial. It is true. It sets the tone for the rest of the relationship, if there even is one. Because subliminally, I'm being taught how to love you, and vice versa. You got to understand communication styles. We got to be on the same page, same definition, all of that. And if you're already coming in not liking or having those issues, and you just still there, time is being wasted. And all that. I'll never understand the purpose of an on and off relationship in my life. What we
Well,
doing?
because they want to break up and go see if they can go find somebody better or go find somebody that it don't work out. Then
And that's cool. And that's fine.
They bounce
That's
it back
cool.
like a
Listen,
rubber band.
I tell you, like I tell most people, if you decide you want to go, that's your. I respect your decision. Go ahead on and go. Don't come back.
You
Whatever
know,
you thought you could find out there, go find it.
in my situation, just like I said, I was talking to my daughter who's 21, and she's telling me about my ex-fiance, her daddy, whom I did not marry, because for this reason, that's why I want to talk about this. For this very reason, because you're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. You are moving too fast. We have not even known each other that long, and you want to get married. Why are you in a hurry to get married? Why? Why are you in a hurry? You're in a hurry. But see, most women fall for that because they know that they got a lot of good things going on about themselves. And why wouldn't you want to marry me? Absolutely. I'm amazing. Absolutely, you should. But set all of that aside. My daughter is 21. She's just finding out things about her dad that I didn't even know because I didn't give him a chance to do none of that because I was not emotional about it. I was very objective about it and very logical about it. He was the emotional one. He was the also excited, and also we're getting married, and also you're so excited, and you're so happy, to the point that you overdoing it, bruh. Like you team too much. Like all of that is just too much. Like, what are you trying to cover? To me, when someone is in a hurry, what are you hiding? Now my spidey senses is tingling. What are you trying to hide? I mean, I don't know what he was trying to hide, but I think I just found out what he was trying to hide. I guess he was hiding the fact that he was a woman beater. Boy, I will push you out the window. This is not over here. Not over here. So I never picked up them type of vibes from him. But there's so many women that's like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. We getting married. He's excited. We're getting married. And then after you marry him, you find out he's a woman beater. Excuse me. After. Because we're not having these conversations. We're not having the conversations beforehand. And it's not even about going to the marriage counselor, because you can fake it at the marriage counselor's office too. Going to counseling is great. That's a wonderful thing. But you need to really have discernment, and you need to fall back and watch, because that's what I did. I said, let me just watch him. Like, let me just watch, how he's moving. And it wasn't major things, it was little things.
It was enough. Mm-hmm.
Little things.
Add up.
Yeah, it was those little things. And I was like, because see, it's the little things that we overlook in the beginning that destroys the relationship in the end. You be like, what you all upset about that for? You didn't know that. Now it's the small foxes that destroy the vine. It's not the big things. It is the small things that eat away at your relationship that you have overlooked. You saw it. You didn't say anything about it. You didn't open your mouth because you wanted to dress the ring and the house and whatever else was going on with the whole, American dream. 2.5 children, the white picket fence, and the little dog Toto. You fell for that mess. And women are like, this guy popped up on my social media feed. It made me cry. These women, he was making them over. And from when he started, you can see the pain in their faces. You could tell they had been carrying pain for a long time. And he did their hair and put their makeup on, and they just lit up like Christmas trees. And I just, like, my heart just goes out for women, especially Black women, who have to carry the burden of just this hatred coming from somewhere everywhere. Hatred coming from somewhere everywhere. Hatred in society. Like, the Black woman is hated, just like Malcolm X said in his speech. The Black woman is really hated. And I think that it's time for us to realize that the number one hater of us is our men. I hear it every day. I hear it all the time. They are the number one haters. What it seems like is that they have taken on how the slave masters treated them. That's how they are now treating us. And I want my sisters to become very well aware. I want us to become very well aware of it, that they are our number one haters. And, of course, we talked about the trans thing or whatever. And it's just, at some point, we have to acknowledge it, accept it, and figure out how we really want to deal with it. Because we're going to have to, it's like when you buy a house. When you buy a house, the underwriter goes through with a fine-tooth comb. If you got toe jam, he gonna find it. And I want us as women, I want us to go through that man with a fine-tooth comb. If he got toe jam, I want you to find it. And I want you to pray over every single relationship, every encounter that you come, because we're not dealing with black and white. We're dealing with good versus evil. We're dealing with good versus evil. Now, I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but as a woman, I've noticed all these women that are getting killed by their boyfriends. My daughter said, "Mom, my sisters told me that my dad beat a woman up with a hammer." You a man, you got physical strength. Why would you pick up anything? First of all, why would you even hit a woman? That's number one. Number two, why would you even pick up, of all things, a hammer and hit a woman with a hammer? That's hatred. I'm telling you, it is hatred. It is pure hatred. All of these problems, there's no way that you meet somebody and he love you and he will head over heels in love with you and he want to marry you and let's get married and I love you and you're the best thing since sliced bread and you're everything I asked God for. And then we've been together 3 months and you don't want to talk. We've been together 6 months and you just disappearing and I don't even know where you at. Like what? Something else is going on. Something else is happening. I'm like, girl, y'all just been together just like 8 months. Like, y'all just got together. What you mean? He stayed out all night long. What? Oh, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. But this was the one who was so gung-ho about marrying you, though. There's an ulterior motive because it's a cover. And it's not necessarily that they're on a DL. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could be financial. It could be another man. It could be anything. I don't care what it is. I want us to find out what it is before we jump the broom. I'm about to snatch the broom away. Okay? Ain't nobody getting no broom. Okay? I'm confiscating all brooms, wedding dresses, all of it. Because it's time to take your time. You know, women walking around talking about, I know my worth and I know my worth. Well, if you know your worth, take your time and get to know really who this person is, not what he appears or the mask that he's wearing. Snatch the mask off. And I remember praying and I said, God, show me who this man is. That's all I prayed. That was it. And I kept on pushing. And next thing you know, it was just little things. It wasn't really nothing major. It was little things. And I was like, nah. I had just bought a house and I was getting ready to buy a business. I was talking to the guy about buying a business, and I had an appointment to go and look at the property. So it was a hair salon slash barbershop, and it had an apartment upstairs that you could rent out. And
Right.
his friend, you know, he came and he invited his friend to come. He was like, come on, come look at this property. It's an investment property. And his friend was so excited. They was like, yo, man, y'all can make a lot of money. You know what I mean? With the hair salon and then the barbershop, and then you could rent the room out upstairs. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to add like a little sandwich shop, like next door was enough room to start like a little sandwich shop. It was a really good income producing property. It was on the corner. It was in South Philadelphia. And because my ex is a veteran, his friend was like, "Yeah, man, you could use your veteran, your veteran status, and y'all could go ahead and get that. Y'all could get that." And the expression on his face. First of all, I never asked him for not one dime because my credit was good. I was in good shape at that point. I never asked him for anything. I just wanted him to come with me and look at the property. I never wanted him to be an investor. I didn't need him to help me invest. I was going to get the property on my own. But his friend was so excited about it. And because we were engaged to be married, he just figured, hey, you could go ahead and use your VA and y'all could get that building just like that. His whole facial expression totally was screaming no. And it wasn't like whatever. It was just like, okay, to me, that was a major thing because that was letting me see that he's not really supporting what it is that I'm doing. Suppose I did say, come on, let's do it together. You know what I mean? We about to get married. Come on, we might as well do it. You could do the barbershop side. I could run the salon side. And the other stuff, we could rent the room out. Da, 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 da. But because I picked up that change in his facial, I never said anything. I never confronted him. I just made a mental note. And it was little things like that. It was just little things like that. After I just prayed, God, show me who this man is. Show me who he is. Because people run around and they say, oh, God told me to marry so-and-so and such and such. You're a liar. You are a liar. God don't tell people to marry people. Of course, it's an exception to the rule. They always try to say Hosea. You're not Hosea. Your name ain't Gomer. When he had them marry the prostitute. No, God presents people to you. He will present them. And he will give you the information so that you can make an informed decision. And that's what I want women to do. I want us to step back, get out of your emotion, okay? Get out of your emotion and click over into your logical brain and step back and use your objectivity. Because when you in it, you can't see the forest for the trees. When you step back, that's when you see everything.
Oh, save yourself the heartache, the pain, and especially the time.
Save yourself the heartache, the pain. He could not believe when I said I can't marry you. Because for him, nothing was wrong. No, nothing isn't wrong. It totally hit him from he didn't see it coming. I said I cannot marry you. My daughter told me, she said, Mom, she's 21. She wasn't even born yet at this time I'm talking about. We're talking 21 years ago. She told me yesterday, she said, Mom, you dodged a bullet.
Damn.
Because you pull a hammer out on me, it's going to be on and popping. Because I'm fighting to the death, straight up. It's going to be on. You pull a hammer, oh yeah, it's on. So I ain't got time to be playing with nobody trying to pull out and hit me with no hammer. If you think you're gonna hit me with a hammer, oh my God. Ain't no way in the world you gonna hit me anyway, and let alone with a hammer. No. So I think as women, we need to not just know our worth and feel like we're so, whatever. Because what I found as a single woman is that when you're single, you're preyed upon. Because men automatically assume that because you're single, that you want to be married. They automatically put them two things together. Automatically. She's single, she lonely, she ain't got nobody. Boom. Easy prey.
I think that the more so assumption is you single, so you lonely. I think that's what it is. But as far as marriage goes, I don't know. I haven't seen that. But also with that being said, I've been married twice, and I'm not rushing into a damn thing. I rushed into
Automatically assume that you lonely because they dangle marriage as a carrot because we've been conditioned. Women are conditioned from little girls to grow up and to want the husband and the house and the picket fence and the whole non-American dream. But and that might be great for white America, but it's a whole different dream when you're African American woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to be smart. I want us to be smart about it because it is a lot of heartache and it is a lot of pain. It's a lot of heartache and it's a lot of pain. These people are not turning out to be who you think they are. And I'm real good at spotting it. I don't care who you are. I normally be spotting it a lot with celebrities. I knew Ken Dude wasn't good. I knew he wasn't the one for Mary. I saw it from 1 second.
Yeah, but he, listening to their story, he was doing stuff that she had never experienced before. So for her, it's like, let me go ahead on and give it a try because this is new, this is different. But
because why? Because she had low self-esteem and she was coming off the rebound from Jodeci. See, that's why you can't tell men about your previous relationship, especially if that man was abusive to you. You can't tell him that. You can't tell him, oh, my last, my ex was, he beat me. He did. Don't do that. Don't tell that man that. Because then he's going to see how much you're willing to put up with. He's going to see how much you're willing to tolerate. Oh, really? Oh, he cheated for 20 years. You stayed with him. He's going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Mental note.
I mean, I would not disclaimer. We're not talking about all men, because some men actually do care.
It's always exceptions to every rule.
Yeah, because there are some men that actually do care and they are careful with that information because you've been through
none of your business.
The case, but also
none of your business.
To a degree. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
If I have gone and done my work and been by myself and allow God to heal me and show me and go through all of that stuff to get myself right and to become a whole integrated person, I don't need to go dredging up nothing that happened. It's
not necessarily dredging up. Granted, yes, your triggers are your triggers, but I don't know what those triggers are. So if I'm doing one thing and then you're triggered onto something else, I definitely think I should know what's going on.
Because I did the work, there is no triggers. Triggers are only there. Triggers are there to show you that you haven't healed. Your trigger shows you that there's something there that you haven't done work on. That's what your triggers are. Your triggers are indicators. I don't have any triggers with that concern.
So in other words, a person's past shouldn't be any of another person's concern.
I mean, if you went to jail and killed somebody or something like that, I think I need to know.
Oh, no. But I've served my time and I've healed from that and I've paid my debts to society. So I'm cool.
No, I think I still need to know that. And that's the whole, I want to do that show. I want to do that show too. I
What
want to do
show?
that show. I want to do the show about the women that be dealing with these people that come out of prison. No,
You talking about Love Left the Lockup?
I'm not gonna watch it. You know what? I think I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it first and take some notes, and then I'm gonna do the show. Cause no,
I haven't watched it, but I know a number of people that do.
I haven't watched it. I'm gonna watch Love After Lockup. I really don't want to come across like I'm being judgmental, but I just feel like if you've been in jail for a certain amount of time and you've been condemned, and you may have turned your life around, and you might be the most amazing person, and you might not even want to kill and hurt a whole fly. But I just can't do it because I can't get out my mind that you might have been in there being bent over, because growing up in the PJs, the guys start going in the detention center as teenagers. And then as they grow older, they just go in and out, in and out, in and out. So as adults, they go in, they come back in the project. So it's a whole bunch of prisoners, parolees, all of that. And you have guys who go in, act like they in there all tough. Yeah, I was running the D block. Yeah. And then you got other dudes come on and be like, nah, he was somebody being there. You know what I'm saying? He had a leash around his neck up in there. But you coming out here acting like, yeah, I was there running things.
Was in there holding pockets.
You see what I'm saying? You was running, all right. Diarrhea from something running up the highway. Yeah, that's what you was doing. So it's like I can't. But that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, but the double standard is presented at this point.
I don't care. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to these parolees. I feel bad for y'all. But you can't get the time. I ain't giving you the time of day. No. Because I understand that we are spirit and we cannot nobody can change without the power of God. Nobody. Because God is who created us. Don't care whether you believe it. I don't care whether you don't believe it. Okay. You do not have the power to change yourself. You don't. You just don't. Okay. You don't. And Jamal Bryant just asked the question. He only realized he just outed himself and told on himself. He asked the question to these two women on the podcast panel: would you, be with a man who has slept with a man? And the answer is no. 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 And no, Jamal. And Jamal, why are you asking that question, Jamal Bryant, Pastor? Why are you asking that, Jamal?
But again, that still poses a double standard. Because again, we're asking about you. The initial question is, again, talking about, well, not question, but the initial thing is talking about past or bringing up the past. Because this is something that you've healed from. You've gone through everything. And your stance is, why do we need to talk about it if I've already healed, I've already changed, I've already dealt with it? But if I ask the question,
not a double standard, it's a different situation. It's a
double
different
standard.
situation. It's a different situation that we're talking about past relationships. I'm talking about past relationships, telling your present person that you're with about past abusive relationship that you've been in. It's a whole different
the conversation that past has to do with who you are today.
We're talking about past relationships, abusive ones, and stuff like that. We ain't talking about you and Jeffrey Dahmer. I need to know.
But again, you need to know, but I can't know about the things that you've been through. That's what I'm talking about as far as the double standard goes.
It's not.
Situation. Yeah, the situation is different, but yet still talking about someone's past is still the past. How am I supposed to get to know you and what you've been through, where you have this gray area that we can't even talk about?
Well, the thing is that no, as far as past relationships, because a lot of times men use those past relationships against you, and
I
women
get it.
don't know that. Women don't know that. They think they're being honest and they think they're being open by telling him, yeah, I was in an abusive relationship, or my ex did this or that or whatever, and they don't even know that that's going to be used against them. I want women to
Okay.
get smart. I want women to
No,
smarten
no,
up,
no,
and I
no.
want women to not have to be in a position that they have to be dealing with somebody that just got out of jail. We ain't got to be dealing with those type of men anyway.
Okay, so again, allow me to slide and play devil's advocate again. So basically, what you're saying is do not tell them what you've been through, and then we go all this long way, and then that's still a factor that could have been dealt with a long time ago.
I need to
Because
know
if
if
they're
you've been locked up for some period of time. I need to know that. I need to know that. I'm sorry. I need to know. Full disclosure. Full
you
disclosure.
want full disclosure, but they can't get full. This
Full
is what I'm
disclosure is
talking about.
no full disclosure as far as do you have a criminal past, any type of criminality? Not full
First of
disclosure as
all,
far as what type of men I dealt with before you and what my body
no,
count
we're not
is
talking about the type
before
of men
you.
you dealt with. We're
You
talking about
even
the
know
type
what
of
my body
relationships.
count is. It ain't none of
I
your
know that's
business.
a now that I
Same
never saw the
thing.
purpose of
It's the same
no
thing. It's the same.
no no because what does my body count got to do with me in the bedroom now? Because let's be honest, no matter what number you say, it's too damn much anyway. If you give me a high number and you're lazy in bed, what the hell are they doing? You give me a low number, it's like, all right, how come no one's taking a chance on this? So you damn if you do, damn if you don't.
And
I mean, granted, you do have to
it's
be mature
because
enough.
we was, we was supposed to come out with a card game. I got the stuff already, did all the research and everything, and still ain't came up with the card game. That was one of the questions on the card too. About
What?
you, do you have a criminal past? Having a criminal past and talking about past relationships, those are two totally different things, Dante. You can't
No, they both no because they both go to the type of person that you are. Because again, we could talk about Hurricane Carter. That man was in jail for how long? And he didn't even do it. But he was in jail. He's in there. He's in there fighting guards and everything else. Came out innocent, but he can't get a chance because he was wrongfully accused. But meanwhile, you done got your ass beat in '96, and I can't know about it because you apologizing for every damn thing. And I'm trying to wonder why she keeps saying sorry because she got something wrong. What happened?
well, that's you can't use Hurricane Carter because he was innocent. We're not talking about people that was innocent. I didn't say nothing about nobody
You
being
literally
innocent.
just said you went to jail. No, I don't know if you went there getting bent over, you holding pockets, you out here ironing stuff with no iron. Nah, I'm good. No chance.
Right, I wouldn't get involved whether you was in there innocently or not. But I'm just saying, though, you can't use Hurricane. He was innocent. Okay, and I will help them. I will help you. I'll help you find a job, everything. Help you start your life all over again. But can you have a relationship with me? No, you cannot. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
you
Sorry.
going you gonna tear up what's the name? Love that. I've never watched it, but I got a couple coworkers that watch it and they come in every week like she done did this, she done did that, and he done did this, and that and broke up and some more stuff. But Love After Lockup is you gonna have fun with that.
That's a whole nother show. I just can't do it. I think it's just a personal preference of mine. I just can't do it. I just want, I just want people just to be happy. And I just keep like listening to these people share their stories and stuff and be so miserable and so unhappy and they don't know how to get out of these relationships. But I'm trying to say if you just take the time in the beginning and then you pay attention and you ask all the right questions, then maybe you could just spare yourself. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you could just spare yourself because when you get excited, you miss things.
Woo,
So all excited, you
woo.
miss stuff. You miss stuff, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of women been by themselves for a really long time. It's very unfortunate that people use marriage in such a deceptive way, because that is not, what God, intended for it to be. But it's just the day and time that we live in. We are dealing with so much evil. We are dealing with so much evil, and women are losing their lives, and I'm sure men are too. But I can't speak for men. I can only speak for the women. Women are losing their lives, and we're not even going to talk about the children. Marriage is supposed to be a covering for children. It's a protection for children. Our children are so uncovered, so uncovered. They're being beat up, raped, molested. Look at that boy that was giving out that PlayStation. Look at how them kids just ran.
Well, that's what he was doing. I was trying to figure out what he was doing. Yeah.
Look how they just
God.
ran just for a PlayStation. Our priorities is all messed up. Everybody is just running around, just trying to, it's I always think about the movie Monsters Ball with Holly Berry and Billy Bob Thornton. And when her son got killed, and Billy Bob was just at a loss for words. Billy Bob said, I just don't know how to help you. I just don't know what to do. And Halle Berry, with the pain and the hurt of just losing her son, she just
make me
looked
feel good.
just make me feel good. And I think a lot of women have been in hurt. They've been in pain for so long. They've been by themselves for so long, and then someone comes along and act like they love them, because they're deserving. Everybody is deserving of love. Everybody is deserving of love. And you get so caught up in that you just overlook, and then you end up trapped, in a marriage, because it's a cover for something else. And it could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be that he on the DL. It could be a cover for anything. You know what I mean? It could be a cover because he ain't got no place to live. We did a show about the homosexual. It could be a cover for just anything. You know what I mean? He could just see, that you got it going on in your life, and he just wants to siphon, and take, from you. You know what I mean? And it's so bothersome to me, because so many women, they just not recovering. Like my friend, she never recovered from that. She never recovered from her husband being gay. She never recovered from finding out that he was gay. She never recovered from that. She never recovered from that. She was heartbroken. And I mean, he was when she finally introduced me to him, I was like, child, please. I don't even know. Girl, I don't know. I'm just different, child. If you don't want me, I don't want you either.
Whew, Lord.
I ain't going around wanting somebody that don't want me. And then toodles and bye-bye. And see you. Yeah. I just want people to be happy. And I just want women to be wise. I want women to be wise. I want women to be wise. I want us to be wise. I want us to have wisdom about how we conducting ourselves and how we moving. You just sit here and you just hear the men talk about it and say, I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like my wife. That's why they ain't never home. That's why they don't want to talk to you. That's why they don't want to spend no time with you. And you just be saying, well, then what did you get married for? Because you a cover.
More than likely, what happened was she probably. I mean, I'm about to put some things out there. Because a lot of times it's like some women, not all, but some women will put a man through so many hoops, so much red tape. And now it's like, I want to do those things. I want to be here. I want to do this. And then it's like, now you finally take that mask off and you show me who you are, and we're married. And it's like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Like
and it's
Tina,
that constant.
like Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson. I've been having a crutch on Richard Lawson forever when he used to be on Dynasty. Richard been fine a long time. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna tell you, them two, I was like, nope, that ain't gonna work. Nope, that's not gonna work. Who else would I call? I called that one wasn't gonna work. Oh, you know what? Who else I called? Corey Hardick and Tia Mowry. Nope, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Who else did I call? Nene and her boyfriend. No, not gonna work. Because it's like it's a pattern. People don't realize that life happens in patterns, and life does not stray from the pattern. And people don't pay attention to patterns. People have patterns. Portia and Simon, not gonna work. No, because the signs are all there, and it's not gonna work because I say it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work because the signs are there for it not to. The signs are all there. You know, the reason why you get together with someone, we talked about this before, you know, that the reason in the beginning, it's got to be substantial. It's like when you start a business, you got to know your why, because your why is what's going to keep you going when when you had 0 sales, or when you had 1,000 sales, or when you had 2 sales, or when you had 15 sales. Your why is going to keep you focused. It's going to keep you determined. Everybody keep talking about passion. Honey, passion been gone. Passion is the fuel that goes in the car. The business is the car, and passion is the fuel. Passion has its place, but baby, when things get hard and challenging in your business, as it will, you got to know why. It's got to be something bigger than you. It can't be for money. It can't be because you want attention. It can't be because you want people to follow you. It's got to be something that's going to anchor you, and when challenges come, so that you won't shake and give up and say, you know what, I'm done with this. And that's the thing that has to be in a relationship. It has to be something so substantial in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't establish that in the beginning, you are setting yourself up for a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. I was determined not to make, the same mistake twice. I didn't see that he was a wife beater or one. He was a hoe, though. He was definitely a hoe. I said, I already been married to a hoe. I don't need another one of them. My name is not Hosea. Okay? Not having it. And so, no. I'm not built that way. And so it's like, my daughter, 21 years later, she said, Mom, you dodged the bullet. I'm like, well, what did he do? I thought she was going to say that was the last thing I thought. And not only did he abuse these women, but he also beat the children. And he has girls. These are girls. These are her sisters she talked to. He beat them. And see, people think that how you treat them kids when they little, them kids don't forget. They're going to remember. They remember that they dad, and normally dads don't beat their children, the girls. Dads don't normally beat girls. Dads, real dads, they can't bring themselves to hit their daughters. That's rare that you see a man beat his daughter, especially when she's a little girl. He won't spank her. Normally, a little girl, she have daddy wrap all around her finger because daddy is not spanking her, and she know it. So for him, and my ex is not a small man; he's a big man. And for you to be beating your daughters, come on. Now you know he wasn't even gonna try that with Anaya. Won't even play them games. Nope.
I gotta go.
I didn't see any of those signs of that he was a woman beater. I didn't see that he was even a child, abuser or whatever. That's a man that hates women. And see, my thing is, I just come to the conclusion that if you hate women, it's the only thing left is men. Ain't nothing else left.
I got that problem.
What else is left? And I think that's what part of the problem is. You hate women so much that secretly you just really want to be with a man. And you mad because you can't. Go ahead. Don't come over here with that. I'm telling you. I was trying to pull the clip of the show, of the movie cover. She was married, had a beautiful marriage, and then walked in on her husband with another man in the shower. She pulled the gun out. See, my grandmother taught me you don't pull out a weapon and not use it. If you pull it out, use it. If I pull a gun out, you just as good as shot. Consider yourself shot. So we ain't pulling out weapons and not using them. This ain't for play. This for real right here. And so to me, this is just a warning because there's so many women running around, and then it's almost like like baby fever. In the group, when one woman have a baby, then all the other women, I want a baby too. I want a baby. That's what's going on right now with these women groups. This one is getting married now. Everybody want to get married. Everybody want to get married now because their friend got married. Now they want to get married. No, this ain't the time. I just don't believe that this is the time to be getting married. I just don't. And not because I'm not interested. From what I see, if you could see what I see walking around, you wouldn't want to marry nobody. See, y'all see flesh, I see spirit. If you saw what I saw, you wouldn't want to be. It ain't nothing to marry. It's nothing.
I think that's the issue because generally all you hear is people with problems, because happy people ain't gonna say nothing. So I think that's what
happy people say stuff.
Nah,
it's not a lot of them. It's just not a lot. I know some happy married people.
Yeah, no. Listen, they in the house. They quiet. Life is good. We ain't saying nothing because the moment you start saying, "Hey, I'm happy over here,"
they got great married relationships. But it's more it's more bad than it is good. That's the problem.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's the problem. I know people that got great marriage relationships and great relationships, but it's more bad than it is good. And that's why I be trying to tell the people that's happily married or the people that's happily been together for a long time, I be trying to get them to write a book. They won't do it.
Nah, leave me alone.
I be trying to get them. I'm like, why don't y'all write a book? Why don't y'all help people out?
Because the issue is you write a book and then eventually you'll get attacked. Like the dude Derek Johnson, granted, Derek Jackson. He wrote a book and then they got divorced. Somebody else wrote a book about
Lala Anthony.
Yeah, like you write a book about these things, and it's like you're immediately attacked. It's like your relationship, in my personal opinion, should be between you and that person. Whoever is important.
Successful relationship, you want to help people.
Yeah, no, I'm good. This is my relationship. I'm cool.
Warning women, pump your brakes. Close us out, Dante.
Nah, I just think that when it comes down to marriage is something like that. The older people, your mama, all in, daddy, does not to be taken lightly. You have to take your time with this thing. If it's the right person, they ain't going nowhere any damn way.
Exactly.
And if they do, guess what? They won the one. Take your time, heal, do whatever it is you need to do, go on about your way.
Yeah.
But the main thing is to take your time because time eventually will tell all. You go into something rushing it, that means you're forcing it, which means it don't fit any damn way. Like, we're supposed to be walking together on this thing. We're supposed to be doing this together, but you're such, like, what are you going to rush for if I tell you, hey, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere? Ain't no rush. Because unfortunately, you rush into it, they're gonna still do the same thing. Cheating is a thing. You get married, now it's adultery. Like, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. That's it.
And just
Um,
pray. Pray. Just say a little prayer. Just say, God, show me who this person is, and watch what happens. Watch all this
not even
stuff.
that. Not even that. God, is this person meant for me or not? If this person is not meant for me, can you please remove them from my life?
And that too. So
And God will remove them from your life.
we will see you guys next Sunday. Thank you.